Hey everyone, my name's Donnie, and I've been in EMS about 30 years. I'm a paramedic. I've worked in volunteer, municipal, fire-based, hospital-based services, flight services, you name it. And over my career, one thing that's always stood out is that writing reports is really difficult. It's incredibly important, but it's very difficult for us to do. And hey, let's face it, most of us joined EMS so that we could take care of patients, not because we wanted to spend time in front of a computer typing and writing out a report. So I'm happy to share with you that we have solved that issue. So today, I want to show you a brand new product that's out there. This product is called MediRescue. And this is a responsible use case for AI, specifically made for EMS. So hey, let's jump in. I'm going to show you how easy it is to do a report. So I'm going to open up this form. Now, right now, this is going to be a side web page, and you can open this up. It's HIPAA compliant, it's secure, and you can use this to help write your narrative. In the future, this will be able to directly import all those NMSIS dropdowns that, don't like to do. It can directly import and fill out all those dropdowns for you in your own ePCR software. But for now, let me show you how easy it is to create a report. So I'm going to just go in and simply say record. So I'm going to describe the patient, and imagine I'm not dictating. I'm simply describing the patient that we just took care of. So ambulance 1105, we were called out for a chest pain patient. Immediately, we started responding with lights and sirens, and on the way to 123 North Main Street, we encountered some construction on that main street, and that delayed our response by about 3 to 4 minutes. However, that was the fastest route possible to us. When we arrived, we found a 68-year-old man, and he was sitting in a recliner. His wife said that he started feeling bad about 2 hours ago. He had a light lunch, and now she's really concerned because his chest pain got so much worse. When I talked to him, he said that he has this crushing chest pain right in the middle of his chest. He described it as an elephant sitting on his chest, but he's got pain radiating into his left arm, up into his left neck, up into his jaw. I can see that he's diaphoretic, he's somewhat pale looking. He rates his pain about a 9 of a 10. He's having a little bit of difficulty breathing. And so going in my assessment, I noted his head, eyes, ears, nose, throat, all of that was normal. His pupils were equal and reactive. He had no JVD on the neck. His lung sounds were clear and equal bilateral. His chest was otherwise normal. His abdomen was normal, soft, non-tender. His extremities were normal. He had normal pulses, motor, and sensation. He had capillary refill was about 3.5 seconds. He had no edema in the extremities. Went on and put him on the 12-lead EKG, and he had some ST elevation, notably in leads 2, 3, and AVF. I suspected that he has an inferior MI going on. He has some reciprocal changes in the 12-lead EKG as well, highly suggestive of STEMI. He says that he takes one medicine for cholesterol, and he thinks it's called Lipitor. He can't really remember that, but he thinks it's Lipitor, and he's very compliant with that. His doctor told him recently that he needed to lose about 10 to 15 pounds. He's been trying to do that. He's lost about 5 pounds. He has a history of diabetes, and it's controlled with insulin. His blood glucose this morning was 95. When I checked his blood glucose, it was 110 through a finger stick. I started an IV in the right AC. It was an 18 gauge, and his initial blood pressure was 92 over 78. Per protocol, we gave him 500 mLs of normal saline through a bolus, and after that, his blood pressure was 110 over 76. We gave him 325 milligrams of aspirin and nitroglycerin under the tongue, and that seemed to reduce his chest pain down to about a 6 of 10. Per protocol, I went on and gave him 25 micrograms of fentanyl, and we talked about what hospital we'll go to. He agreed to a transport. He wanted to go to the local community hospital. They have no cath lab, so we went on to St. Mary's in the city. En route, the patient remained comfortable. However, his pulse oximetry was noted to be 92% on room air. I went on and added a nasal cannula at 2 liters, and that brought him up to 97%. The transport was pretty unremarkable. I called ahead and gave a report. En route, oh yeah, he did tell me that he was allergic to penicillin, so we noted that in the chart. His last meal, he did have a light lunch, but he was a little nauseous. He didn't keep that lunch down. Other than that, the transport was pretty unremarkable. And we delivered him to the hospital. They took him straight back to the cath lab. I gave a report to the RN on duty. And that really concludes my transport. Now, if I had a crew, I could have this conversation with my crew, and the crew could actually add information in, just like this. We could have an information. If I forgot something, I can simply go back and just state it. We took a second set of vital signs, and his blood pressure remained stable at 114/76. His heart rate was 94 regular, and his respiratory rate was about 16. Now at this point, I can simply, look over and I can edit any of the text here, but that's not super important at this point. The system is smart enough to take out any side conversation and anything that's not relevant. I can select what type of template my service prefers. I know some people like using a SOAP format, some like using a chart format, some people like using a DRAP format. Whatever your protocol is, that's fine. I'm going to go in and do a SOAP format for now, and I'm going to hit submit. When I hit submit, it's going to take this information and the computer's going to process it. Now this is completely secure. It's all HIPAA compliant, and so you don't have to worry about that. Once it processes, it's going to come through and it's going to give me the actual output here. And I can go through and I can edit this, I can rearrange it, anything I want. I'm going to download it just because it's a little bit easier for us to see. And by doing that, this is what the chart looks like. And again, I can rearrange any of this, but it's going to make sure that the spelling's right, the grammar's right, the medical terminology is correct. And you can see here, that simple, I've got a nicely formatted chart. It captures, I had a 68-year-old man, he presented with chest pain, talks about when and how it started, his rating, and how he reported some difficulty breathing as well. How I found him, sitting in a recliner with pale, somewhat diaphoretic. And you can see it captures everything here. It captures my 12 lead EKG, leads 2-3 AVF, some elevation, and reciprocal changes. It's all noted right here. It does take down my vital signs, the fact that I gave him some treatment and some meds. It has my assessment in here and my plan, including the fact that I gave a report, the hospital we went to, and that I continue to recheck the vital signs. So again, you may want to rearrange a few things here. It's very important as part of being a responsible professional with AI that you read over this and you make sure that you can attest that this is your report. This will save you a tremendous amount of time and frustration. So I hope you find this useful. I encourage you to check out MediRescue.io and see how you could incorporate this to reduce your frustration, save you some time, make sure your reports are accurate and in a proper format. Now, if I wanted to go back and change this into a different format, that's super simple. I can simply go back to the page and go back up to the top, and I can say, well, instead of a SOAP format, I want this in a chart format. No problem. I'll resubmit this, and it's going to take all that information, completely rearrange it for me into a new chart format. So now I've got all of that in a chart format, and you can see it's here on the screen. Again, I can download it. That's nice and simple. I can edit, make any edits I have here. And this is ready to be cut and pasted right over into my EPCR chart. Now again, don't forget, the Pro version of this will have the ability to actually import this directly into your PCR chart and to fill in all those drop downs. Hey, thanks for taking a look at this. I believe this is really the future of EMS, and we look forward to talking with you and working with you. Have a great day. Thanks.